a rainy day once again here at Mulcahy Stadium as the Anchorage Bucs look to put themselves on the right side of the win-loss column here today after the first gloomy day of the season. They wound up on the wrong side of it. I'm Jake Sloan alongside Ryan Grimsley as the Bucs will take on the Peninsula Oilers today for the fifth time in a span of 7 days. They had that 4-game road trip up to Kenai where they split before coming back here and splitting their first 2 games back at home. For the Oilers, they've enjoyed the last 3 days off, but this is their 6th game in a row playing the Bucs. I'm sure they're getting a little tired of seeing the same jersey over and over.
Absolutely. After only 2 games, when the first 2 games of the season were against the Chinooks, I remember a lot of the guys on the team saying that it's going to get old playing a lot of the same teams over and over again. Well, here we are playing the Oilers once again after it seems like we couldn't stop playing them on the road trip, and now they're at our place.
So we just have a couple of minutes as the umpires and head coaches will meet and exchange starting lineups. We'll announce those here for both sides. Ren, you want to get us started on that?
Absolutely. Starting with the Peninsula Oilers, the away team. It's going to be Mark Nellis leading things off. He will be out in center field. After him, Brooks Hassencleaver, the right fielder. Then Luke Lusky, the first baseman. Batting in cleanup will be Carson McCormack. Batting 5th, Reed Oakley, who will be behind the dish. Then Owen Musel, who's at DH. And number 7's Isaac Lopez, the second baseman. Number 8 in the lineup will be Shane Cannon at shortstop. And number 9, batting in the 9-hole, Luke Skinner, the third baseman. And on the mound will be Dixon. Be Luke Dixon, to be exact. Then getting things here with the Bucs, it's going to be Camden Lanfear, the shortstop, leading off once again. Drew Raymond in right field, batting second. Batting third, Taylor Tracy, who is out in left field today. He DH'd yesterday. Now Luke Taylor will be the DH as he bats in the cleanup spot. 5th is going to be Ty Denton at catcher. 6th will be Hayden Miller, who will play first base. First time this season he hasn't been over at third base. 7th is going to be Finn Leach at second base. 8th, AJ Garcia in center. And 9th, Andrew Sheffield, who will be at third base for the first time this season. And on the mound, Jonah Fragus, who has had a pretty good season so far with the Bucs.
Representing Long Beach State University.
And for the first time here this season, Ryan Dara will not start. He has started every game for the Bucs up until this point, 11 games to be exact. As he had the clutch 2-run triple on Friday against the Oilers, went 2 for 4 on Monday against the Glacier Pilots, but 0 for 4 yesterday. So head coach Kirk Schreiber giving him the day off. We only have 2 more games until a 4-day break today and tomorrow, and then once again the Oilers come back down to Anchorage on June 29th. But nonetheless, like you said, on the mound for the Oilers will be Luke Dixon, the twin brother of Cole Dixon, who was also on the team, both of them from Phoenix, Arizona, both at Arkansas Tech. Dixon has not seen the Bucs this year. He pitched the final game against the Glacier Pilots on June 14th. That is his only appearance. It was a pretty good appearance at that. Through 5 scoreless innings, struck out 6, and only allowed 2 total hits. So strong start to his summer as he looks to continue that here today.
Yeah, the starting pitchers for the Oilers have done pretty well against the Bucs. As we mentioned, Kian Prendez went through 7 scoreless innings in that final game on the road trip, and that is the best starting pitcher outing of the season in the ABL.
And then for Jonah Fragus on the other side,
At this time, ladies
He
and
threw
gentlemen, will you please
5
rise?
innings of 2-run ball against the Miners on June
Gentlemen,
13th,
remove your
but
head cover.
he pitched against
As
the
we honor
Oilers and
America
was
for those who bravely served
in just 4 and 2/3
our
innings of works,
country
gave up 5 runs. All of
in the
those were
past,
earned in the
in the
6-5
present,
loss on June
and for the
18th, so
future.
he's going to look to avenge that appearance as we'll have the national anthem played here. We'll be right back after it.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, while you're waiting for the game to start, head on down to the Pirates Den and get a lucky ticket for your chance.
So the
to win some
Bucs
prizes
will
today.
take the field here
Also
to
at the Pirates
start
Den,
things
we
off
have
in the
4th of July
top of the
tickets on
first.
sale. So check those
Taking a
out.
look
They're
at
gonna be going
their
quick.
defense,
What a
it'll
great
be
day
Taylor
that's
Tracy
gonna
in
be.
left field, AJ Garcia in center, Andrew Raymond in right,
On sale down at the Pirates Den.
and some switching up in the middle infield.
Win some great prizes.
For the first time this season, Andrew Sheffield starting on the hot corner at third base. Camden Lanfear, who has started the last couple games at third, shifts just one spot over in at shortstop. Finn Leach at second base, and Hayden Miller playing first base for the first time this season for the Bucs. To the best of our knowledge, he did not play at first for Bradley during his college ball in 2026. And then Ty Denton once again behind the plate. Him and Luke Taylor have split duties for the most part, with Lucas Perez getting a couple starts as well. Taylor still coming back from a wrist injury. Started at catcher yesterday. Schreider giving him the day off behind the dish, but he's still in the batting lineup at DH, so you will see him plenty today. Like we said, Fragus on the mound, the right-hander, trying to avenge his previous appearance against the Oilers. He stands at 6'6", just finished up his junior year at Sacramento State.
Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Peninsula Oilers, center fielder number 8.
As Mark Nellis will start things off in the batter's box for the Oilers. First pitch to him is fouled back and out of play for strike one.
Mark Nellis gave the Bucs some trouble during the road trip. In that last game, however, they were able to shut him down pretty well. Only reached on a walk and an error, and then had a strikeout and 2 groundouts along with those.
Take strike two on the outer part of the plate. Still hitting at a 350 mark in his first 7 games of action for the Oilers. 7 hits. He's come around to score 7 times as well. He's also knocked in 5 runs. Swings and misses there for strike 3, and Fragus sends the first batter down on 3 pitches.
Just wonder what kind of day the Bucs are going to have. They've had a couple games where it's felt like they've been in control for a lot of it, and some where it has just been absolutely disastrous from the start, including the worst of those being a game against the Oilers where they were run ruled.
Since then, in their last 4 contests, they have not given up more than 6 runs. In this order, it was 6, 4, 3, 5 in their last 4 games. So their pitching staff has done well to limit opposing offenses. They're just waiting for their bats to catch up. 1-0 is popped sky high behind home plate. Denton waiting for it to come down, and he plays it cleanly for out number 2.
Good to go ahead and get the second out, especially against a guy like Brooks Hassencleaver. Didn't really talk about him much as he quickly popped out, but he did some damage against the Bucs.
So now Luke Lusky steps up to the plate. He also saw plenty of action against the Bucs. Hitting .211 on the year as he takes strike 1 on the backdoor slider.
Yeah, Lusky, a guy they were trying to get in the lineup a bunch. He was at first base a couple times, batted DH a couple times as well.
Able to grab the outer part of the plate for strike 1. Or excuse me, strike 2, as the first offering was also called strike. 0-2 from Fragus is chopped foul down the third base line. Lusky able to stay alive.
That foul ball brought to you by Alaska.
Quickly down to the final strike. Only 1 ball from Fragus this inning. Be good to establish dominance early.
Here comes the 0-2 from him. Swung on and missed. It's a drop third strike, so Denton will throw over to first. It's a bit high for Hayden Miller, but he's able to reach it. So a 9-pitch inning for Jonah Fragus in the top of the first, and also had a pair of punch-outs. Strong start from him. Bucs will try to reciprocate that with their bats in the bottom half of the frame.
So pick that up. That's going to sell out quick. So look forward to having you here on that weekend game. Also, check out the Bucs beer stand for a great lineup of beer, seltzers, and wines. And while you're down, check out that concession stand for all your culinary delights and top-of-the-line Boar's Head products. Now batting for the Anchorage Bucs.
So Camden Lanfear will lead things off against Luke Dixon after Fragus delivered a 1-2-3 top of the first. Takes ball 1 inside. Had a tough day yesterday at the plate. He's had a rough 2 games so far since coming back to Mulcahy Stadium, but he's quickly now ahead in the count, 2-0. Sends that one into left center. Ranging under it will be Mark Nellis, who makes the catch for the first out.
Yeah, Lanfear's had his fair share of troubles but his speed is one thing that the Bucs really like. That's why they keep putting him out at leadoff, and has had a couple of clutch hits and come through when need be, especially defensively.
That'll be Andrew Raymond stepping up to the plate. Takes the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. Raymond drew 2 walks for what seems like the millionth time yesterday. And he is halfway there through 2 pitches in his at-bat.
Yeah, he's had more multiple walk games than any other person on the Bucs team.
He swings at a 2-0 and pops it up into the infield. The shortstop Shane Cannon calls off everybody, and back-to-back pop-outs with Bucs ahead in the 2-0 count.
Now batting for the Anchorage Bucs from Texas Christian University, left fielder number 33.
So Dixon, his only 2 strikes that he's thrown were put in play and recorded for easy outs. Taylor Tracy steps up trying to change that.
So one thing we've sort of kept on the low because we weren't sure if he announced it yet or not was that he is transferring from Tennessee to TCU, closer to his home in Austin, Texas. We didn't see anything on his Instagram or anything online, so we weren't sure if he had announced it yet. However, the PA guy here just said Texas Christian University, so happy to announce the transfer for Taylor Tracy.
It's down in the count 0-2, but like you said, moving closer to home. He's not the only one on the Bucs to do that. Ryan Dara, who spent his freshman year at Arizona State this past year, committed to Tulane about a week ago. The Louisiana native also going closer to home as Tracy lines that ball up the middle and into center field. He's aboard with a 2-out single to keep the bottom of the first alive.
That's Tracy's second hit as a Buck. Only his 3rd game with the team. Has had a little bit of troubles at the plate, but has now looking to establish himself as part of this lineup. He's been in the 3rd spot every single game he's been here. Maybe just need a little time to adjust to Alaska and the sun and everything.
Probably won't be seeing the sun today, but it is still plenty bright outside despite being 6 p.m. So Luke Taylor steps in as the DH today for the Bucs after starting at catcher yesterday. He takes ball 1 outside. Missed a handful of games up in Kenai after being hit on the wrist by a pitch in the very first game. Returned to play yesterday and started the game with wrist tape and ended with nothing. So that's obviously a good sign that he's hopefully a lot closer to full health. 1-0 him is inside for ball 2. Catcher Reed Oakley popped up out of his stance with a quick look over to Taylor Tracy, but I don't think he'll try to test his arm. Oakley threw out several batters up in Kenai when these 2 teams faced off for 4 games in a row. Looks like we might have a balk called here as Tracy gets a free pass over to second.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I wasn't really paying attention to Dixon necessarily. Just kind of looking over at Tracy to see how far off the bag he might go. We saw him get tagged out on the base paths twice in his first game. But now he is in scoring position.
And Taylor pops one up into shallow right field on the 2-0 count. Aston Cleaver makes the catch for out number 3. So the Bucs get the first base runner of the game off of the single from Tracy. They can't do anything with it though, and we'll head into the top of the second, still tied at 0-0.
Ladies and and gentlemen, we have a tour group with us this evening. It's a Big League Tours stopping by to check out our game this evening. So we're welcoming those folks for making the trip up here to Alaska and enjoying some great midnight sun baseball here at the Alaska Baseball League. Thank you. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Oilers, left fielder number 25, Carson McCormick.
Carson McCormick will lead things off in the top of the second after a 1-2-3 first from Jonah Fragus. McCormick able to foul that one back and out of play for strike one.
That foul ball brought to you by Associated Builders and Contractors of Alaska.
Fragus threw just 9 pitches in the first inning, and with a lot of these guys on pitch counts given by their collegiate pitching coaches, it's always good when you can keep your count down low and especially in the first inning, get off to a hot start and try to continue that into the rest of your outing. Another foul ball moves the count to 1-2. Fragus already looking for strikeout number 3.
Giving the Oilers something to swing at. And so far, more often than not, they have fouled back or popped up. Even the pop out was still in foul territory, so they just have not been able to put anything between the foul lines.
Both of Fragus's first 2 strikeouts were swinging. McCormick has come out aggressive, already fouling off 3 pitches. That's why the count is the way it is. 1-2 is up high, though. That'll even things up at 2 apiece. McCormick in that cleanup spot. He's hitting .318 with 7 hits and 3 RBIs as he's able to just get a piece of that pitch that was ranging outside and just foul it off to stay alive.
I'm sure the Oilers are even more tired of us than we are of them, as they haven't played anyone since the last time we played. Getting a little break. Seems every team's getting a break around this time. Ours coming up. The Glacier Pilots already had theirs.
2-2 rides way inside and almost hits McCormick, so the first full count of the afternoon. Here comes the 9th pitch of the at-bat, is inside for ball 4, and McCormick works a leadoff walk in the second inning.
Now batting for the Oilers, catcher number 11, Reed Oakley.
So that'll bring up the catcher, Reed Oakley. Talked about his arm talent behind the dish. He's put together some pretty good hitting as well. He's hitting .500 through 4 games, has 7 hits. So next pitch from Fragus is down low for ball 1. After throwing just 9 pitches, he's already thrown the same amount in the second.
This time with no outs to show for it.
1-0 is inside on the fastball. Oakley able to get out of the way, and that's now 4 straight balls from Fragus.
There's something with his delivery that's just not clicking, and everything's going a little bit more inside than he's wanting it to. Has kind of missed the zone the past 2 at-bats.
He'll throw over to first, try to pick off McCormack, who isn't too much of a threat on the base pass. He has stolen 2 bases. Did not attempt to steal one at Allen Community College. The 2-0 is hit sharply over to shortstop. The throw to second is in time. Over to first. Got him on the 6-4-3 double play, and just like that, 2 are gone in the second.
And with a 2-man umpire crew, the umpire had to call out both of them at second and at first. Was about 70 feet away from the play at first. It was a little closer than I think they were hoping it would be. But getting the second out. There you go.
Next pitch is lined right over to Finn Leach, and 2 pitches get 3 outs. A big bounce back performance from Fragus after he ran into some early trouble. Gets the unorthodox 1-2-3 inning. He still only faced 6 batters.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, don't forget to check out that Bucs beer stand.
So the Bucs will head into the bottom of the second with Fragrance keeping it tied. We'll try to change that here on the Bucs YouTube channel.
Those red tickets are on sale as well, so pick up your lucky ticket at the Pirates Den and get a chance to win some prizes today. Also, those 4th of July tickets are on sale now. Make sure you get yours early. Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Anchorage Bucs. From Long Beach State University, designated hitter, Luke. Correction. My fault. We have from Tennessee Tech University.
Still 0-0 here in the bottom of the second. Bucs have the only base hit of the evening so far as Ty Denton steps up and takes a slider outside for ball 1 from Luke Dixon.
Ty Denton's also been hitting pretty well. He didn't play yesterday, but the day before that, his catcher had a single, as well as got hit by the pitch that drove in a run in the bottom of the second inning. Had 2 singles the day before that. So he is getting on base pretty efficiently.
Despite the swing and miss there, he's still ahead in the count 2-1 after first 2 pitches missed outside. Hits the next one into left center field. That will get down for a leadoff single. Looked like it had some pretty good flight, but just died right in front of the left fielder, Carson McCormack, who could not sprint in and make the diving catch. So Denton reaches on a single to left, and that'll bring up Hayden Miller, the first baseman in today's game.
First baseman, number 20, Hayden Miller.
Didn't play yesterday. Is one of now 3 Bucs with a home run that came in the first game. Takes a pitch upstairs for ball 1.
I felt like McCormack or Nellis probably could have gotten to that ball from Denton. Seems like they made up their mind from the get-go that they weren't going to get there and were jogging in. I especially feel like Nellis and center could have gotten to it. I mean, I don't know either of their athletic abilities or how, what kind of jump they got on it, but it seemed like they immediately just took it for a base hit.
And over in left field, McCormack's playing pretty deep right now. He's probably 10 feet in front of the wall. Usually don't see that too often, especially in a wood bat league where a lot of singles into the outfield are shallow more than deep, as Miller is down in the count now 1-2. Usually your most athletic defenders are in the outfield. They can cover the most ground. 1-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. That'll be the first out of the inning.
It's the first strikeout from Dixon as well. Perhaps finding a little bit of command here after facing a few batters. Now he'll have Finn Leach up. Leach who's also come through when need be. Not necessarily always getting on with the highest average or anything, but he has come through when it matters most. And the bottom of the second may not be when it matters most, so I'm not saying he's going to get a hit here or anything, but
Shown up the last 2 games, back-to-back 1-for-3 performances where he also drew a walk. He's done that pretty often. Drawn 6 here in the early goings of the season. So the first offering to him is a ball that gets away from Reed Oakley, and Ty Denton will easily take second base. Just now realizing that finally our website has updated for the last 2 games up in Kenai.
hey, let's go.
Yesterday and the day before, tried to look up our stats for the entire road trip. There was a small glitch in the website that wasn't updating the final 2 games of it. Now we have them, so we can tell you exactly what everybody's done without having to go all the way back and look at every game on our scorebooks. Each has a 1-1 count. Only one gone here in the bottom of the second. Denton, the second Buck to be in scoring position after it was Tracy in the first inning. Each swings and misses at an off-speed pitch. Dipped down in the zone before it reached the glove of Reed Oakley.
Also looks like it's starting to sprinkle a little bit out there. I see some drops. We moved our camera inside today out of fear that it might rain. Looks like that was a good decision.
Yeah, a smart business decision from us is Leach fouls one out of play to stay alive. Kind of surprised that it's taken us this long to have that kind of decision to make.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more rain. I can't lie.
I'm not complaining whatsoever. It's been a glorious 2.5 weeks here. 1-2 is hit right back over towards the pitcher Dixon. He'll throw over to third, and Denton got caught up in between second and third and had to fully commit. He'll be thrown out for the second out of the inning, and Leach will reach on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, and it was hit so quickly back to the glove of Dixon. He just stuck it out there and found the ball. And Denton did not have any time to react to that as he was already on his way to third. Pretty good play from Dixon there to get that out.
So the lead runner gets out. The Bucs still able to get one with Leach at first, as A.J. Garcia takes a fastball up and in for ball 1. Dixon has thrown 15 strikes and 11 balls in his first 26 pitches, as the throw back over towards first just barely poked out of the glove of Lusky, but not enough for Leach to confidently be able to take second. So the Oilers able to avoid disaster there. Already had that happen once when a wild pitch allowed Ty Denton to reach second safely.
Garcia's found some success lately, had a pair of doubles yesterday that both found the right field wall. Also had 2 strikeouts, but he was struggling to put the ball into play for a while there. And then back in the lineup yesterday, able to make some noise.
Came in a big spot after his trip up to Kenai was pretty unsuccessful. He only played in 3 games and went 1 for 9. Was hitless for 3 straight games before getting 1 hit against the Oilers. Like you said, a big day for him yesterday to be able to reach base safely twice in the way that he did. He hits that one sharply over to first, but unfortunately for him, Luski was right there to flash his glove and make the play for a emphatic 3rd out. Neither team able to erase their goose egg on the scoreboard through 2 innings. See if that changes as Fragus takes the mound for the top of the 3rd.
Ladies and gentlemen, some great sponsors here with the Anchorage Bucs, Boar's Head of Alaska, and Alaska Provisional, Alaska Club, and Alaska Springs in Performance, all proud supporters of your Anchorage Bucs. Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Oilers, second baseman, number 7, Sammy Lopez.
Sammy Lopez, the second baseman, will step in the left-handed batter's box as the leadoff batter in the top of the 3rd. Hits the first offering right into the glove of Hayden Miller, who makes the diving catch. It's his first game at first base for the Bucs this summer, but he's used to the hot corner and
now batting for the Oilers,
gets to
number 5.
familiarize himself with it one more time there. What a play from Miller.
Skills translate pretty easily, especially on the infield, as he went horizontal to get that ball. Big first out in the 3rd inning.
Tongue twisters all around from us. And Shane Cannon, the shortstop, takes ball 1. Rain coming down a little harder now. Be interested to see how much that affects the pitchers and their ability to get a grip on the baseball. Fragus able to find the zone with that fastball to move the count to 2-1. Hitters count is moved to 3-1 after the slider from Frager dips below and out of the zone. The only base runner he's given up was off of a walk. Now the second time he's walked a batter, that one on 5 pitches. And Cannon reaches aboard with 1 gone.
Cannon, an interesting one. He's moved from the bottom of the lineup, and we also saw him leading off in a couple games back in Kenai. So the Oilers wanting to get guys all around that lineup and find their success, especially here early in the season. They've played a couple games fewer than the Bucs, so Every game very important for developing teams early on.
First pitch to Luke Skinner, who's hitting in the 9-hole, is outside. Cannon faked like he was going to run and quickly pulled back. Wonder if that might have affected Fragis's delivery there. Bunt attempt is unsuccessful as pitch bounces right in front of Denton, but not far enough to warrant a stolen base attempt by Shane Cannon. So 2-0 count to Luke Skinner out of Bradley University. Throw over to first at Hayden Miller, another Bradley University player. There's 4 of them, 2 on each side, featured here today. Saw them meet up after Friday's game in Kenai. Plenty of collegiate teammates playing on separate teams in this league, as the bunt attempt from Skinner is fouled over towards the first base side, or excuse me, the third base side.
I wonder in that situation how they decide, I guess between the coaches and the GMs, who goes to the Oilers, who goes to the Bucs. Maybe it depends on what positions are needed to be filled at that particular moment.
I'm sure both sides collaborate on that decision. Like you said, team needs probably at the top of the list in terms of importance is Skinner, also ahead in the count 3-1, the same as Shane Cannon was. Still committing to the bunt attempt. Try the same here, but the fastball winds up outside for ball 4. And it's back-to-back one-out walks to put a pair of base runners on as the Oilers batting order goes back to the top.
Oilers center fielder number 8, Mark Nellis.
Mark Nellis steps in for the second time after striking out on 3 pitches his first time up. Cannon on second with some pretty solid speed. A bunt attempt there by Nellis winds up foul by just a couple of feet for strike 1.
Ball brought to you by Alaska Restaurant Supply.
Oilers trying to avoid a double play after falling victim to one in the last inning. Bucs have been able to get plenty of those in the last handful of games after it took them a while just to get their first one. A full swing from Nellis there as he foul tips that one into the backstop for strike 2. That will basically take away any bunt attempt.
We've seen Fragis get up 0-2 in the count before and draw a walk, which he did in the second inning. Be good to go ahead and get the strikeout here, as then with 2 runners on could get the force out at any base.
The 0-2 from him is hit up the middle. He's unable to get it, and Finn Leach can't get his full glove on it. Coming around all the way to score will be Shane Cannon, and the Oilers take an early 1-0 lead. It's an RBI single up the middle as Finn Leach almost got to it, but it only clipped a part of his glove, and that kept it from going all the way into center field.
And that's the Oilers' first hit of the game. Unfortunate that it had to be an RBI, as Leach could have just held on a little bit longer, would have been able to keep the runner at third.
You wonder if the slickness of the ball with the rain coming down played a factor in that. The 1-0 from Fragis is outside for ball 2. The sun is peeking through the clouds a little more now.
That has happened every single game. It started out cloudy, and it looks like it's going to be cloudy forever, and then here comes the sun.
So a 2-0 count to Brooks Hassencleaver. Takes a pitch at about the belly button, and it gets in there for strike one. Was crowding the plate a little bit, had to kind of back off, but Fragers was able to clip the inside part of the plate. Hassencleaver fouls that one off to even things up, and Fragus has worked his way back into this at-bat.
Foul ball brought to you by Alaska Restaurant Supply.
Hassencleaver fouled out to the catcher his first time up. Only saw one pitch, he's seen 4 here. Fifth one is on the way. Chops that one right in front. Fragus able to throw it, and the runner will be called safe. Miller made the catch at first, but it was on the other side of Hassencleaver. No batter's interference is called. Ball just popped out of Miller's glove.
Now batting for the Oilers.
Yeah, when Fragus went and got it, he was pretty much at the foul line and would have had to either throw over or take steps out, and didn't have time to do either one. So just tried to deliver it to that outside part, and like you said, got knocked out of the glove of Miller. An unfortunate sequence there.
So Skinner scores from second on the play. Nellis advances to third. It's runners at the corners with with one out. Hassencleaver stays at first. Luke Lusky steps up to the plate and takes ball one. Wild string of events here. Last couple of batters.
None of it seeming to go the Bucs' way either.
So a 2-0 count to Lusky after what was scored as an error. 2-0 misses inside for ball 3. Fragus in danger of loading the bases here. That one is skied into the infield over towards shortstop. Anfield makes the easy play for out number 2. And Fragus just 1 out away from limiting the damage.
Those were the outs the Bucs were getting in the first and second inning, including a very similar looking pop out, but to Ty Denton, the catcher. And then after, like you said, a wild series of events, including 2 walks and a hit, and then an error. Luckily, the Bucs have been able to bounce back, but have not been able to get bats going early in the game in the past week or so.
So McCormack will take strike 1, as Lusky's pop out also came on a 3-0 count. You don't see many swings with 3 balls and no strikes. 0-1 is chopped over towards shortstop. Lanfear fields it cleanly. His throw to first is in time. And all things considered, not the worst way that it could have gone for the Bucs. They strand 2 runners on, but they find themselves in a 2-0 deficit heading into the bottom of the third.
Subway gift card coming your way, 066184. 066184. You got the winning ticket. Go check out the Pirates Den and pick up your winning certificate. Now batting for the Anchorage Bucs from Florida Gulf Coast. Third baseman number
Andrew
2,
Sheffield in the 9-hole today, like he has been for much of the season. Will lead things off in the bottom of the third, fresh off of a first career homer as he sends that one into deep left field. McCormack going back on it, and it's gone. 2 games, 2 homers for Andrew Sheffield. What a stretch this kid is on.
By Andrew Sheffield and Little Caesars Pizza.
Andrew Sheffield also had some struggles early in the season, but right now he is seeing everything and making great contact with the ball. He was able to get some singles the past couple games, and now with 2 bombs, he ties up the ABL for most home runs so far this season.
And they've both looked almost identical. That one at a very similar launch angle. Just took the first pitch he saw over the left field wall to cut the deficit in half. Camden Lanfear sees a ball and a strike. One count to Lanfear, moves to 2-1. And we were talking to Sheffield's mom in the parking lot yesterday. She'll be here till Thursday. She's been in attendance for both of his biggest hits of the season so far.
How can we keep her here longer?
Do we move her into the bunkhouse and give her her own little room just to keep her around for the summer?
I think so. I mean, I think we have to.
I something like that. I know we have plenty of host families in Anchorage. If we can get one more, that one's sent in to left center. That'll get past the left fielder Carson McCormack. Digging for second is Lanfear, and he'll be in there for a standing double. So back-to-back extra base hits for the Bucs, and they are in business here in the third.
Another well-struck ball. If it had just went up a little bit, it might have had the distance to go out, but bouncing up against the wall looked like a very similar hit to Hank Smith's walk-off a couple days ago. And now another runner in scoring position, and Drew Raymond up to bat.
Raymond popped out to the shortstop his last time up. Takes ball 1 out of the zone, like he's done so often here. Ever since he touched down in Anchorage, was just a walk magnet. Pieces this one into center field. That'll get down, rounding third, and coming home is Camden Lanfear. The throw will not be in time. And Andrew Raymond with a RBI single has tied this game up at 2 apiece.
That's really excellent for the Bucs to go ahead and tie this game up immediately. You're going to give up runs, as we saw in the top of the third. They're going to hit. That's just part of baseball, but being able to bounce back like this, especially from, like I mentioned, a team who has not done the best early on in the game. They weren't able to score yesterday until the 7th inning with the home run from Andrew Sheffield, and then scored again in the 8th. So Sheffield getting things going both days. So we now have a tie ball game in the 3rd inning.
This is the first time since June 17th that the Bucs have scored before the 4th inning. And the last 3 games, they didn't score until the 9th. Or, excuse me, until the 7th. But still, like you said,
For the Anchorage Bucs,
offenses usually come further in the game. Great sign that they're able to get some early offense here. As after a couple of solid innings from Luke Dixon, he is in some trouble. Taylor Tracy steps up, takes ball 1 down low. He singled back in the 1st. Was able to advance to 2nd, but that was it. Steps in here with Raymond over on first. Still nobody out. Swings and misses at that breaking ball for strike one.
And the Bucs already have 5 hits in the game compared to the Oilers 2. The difference being, and the reason this game is tied, is the Oilers have drawn several walks. They have 3 of them in the first 3 innings. And the Bucs don't have any, so haven't gotten any free passes on base. It's all had to come off the bat.
That one's chopped right in front of Dixon. He's able to underhand toss it over to first for out number 1. That will advance Raymond up to second, so another runner in scoring position for the Bucs. As designated hitter and cleanup man Luke Taylor steps in after flying out to right his first time up.
It's been Hank Smith in this spot the past several days. Luke Taylor, very trusted by Coach Kirk Schreider in terms of his bat, as he's a guy they move around from catcher, first base, and DH.
First pitch he sees is in his batter's box as he has to get out of the way of the first offering. Dixon now up to 41 pitches, only 23 have been strikes. Fastball misses upstairs. He falls behind in the count 2-0. Gives a look to Raymond over at second before firing and right to the third baseman, Luke Skinner, who throws back to second, and he is able to double up Raymond at second base, who tried to dive back in, but wasn't expecting that to go straight to Skinner. So what seemed like an opportunity for the Bucs to jump out in front is a double play that ends the third inning. We'll be tied up at 2-2 after both teams get a pair of runs in the third frame.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to honor those former and current military and first responders who are joining us today. Please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these great heroes of our community and this country, please give them a big round of applause. Thank you for your service to our community and to this great country. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, some more of our fine sponsors: Milk Corp of Alaska, Subway, and Arby's of Alaska, and Moe's O'Brady's, all proud supporters of your Anchorage Bucs. Now batting for the Oilers, catcher number 11, Reed Oakley.
So a new arm on the mound for the Bucs. It'll be Luke McLeod taking over for Jonah Fragus. After Fragus pitched 2 scoreless and gave up a pair in the third, McLeod has thrown 4 1/3 innings in 3 appearances and is yet to give up a run, has only given up 1 hit. His first offering misses down low for ball 1 to Reed Oakley, the catcher. McLeod has been a very good two-way player. He's seen plenty of action in the batter's box as well. As the 1-0 is hit over towards second, fielded cleanly by Leach, and a quick first out as Oakley is thrown out at first.
No batting.
McLeod, one of the many two-way players on this team, who's gotten a lot of action. Obviously, Taylor Tracy, who has been put into the rotation and seen at the DH. We've also seen McLeod at DH, and then Carson Humphries, another guy who's gotten a lot of action both on the mound and at the plate.
We'll see if McLeod moves into that DH spot. It'll be pretty early to do that, as Taylor's only seeing 2 at-bats.
Brought to you by ABC of Alaska.
But the first 2 offerings to Owen Musil are a ball and a strike. After Musil fouls off that pitch, he lined out to shortstop his first time up to end the second inning. Fouls that one away. Now he's down in the count 1-2. Bucs are likely hoping to get several innings out of McLeod after Fragus only went 3 innings. 1-2 is skied down the right field line, heading out of play, and that's where it will reach. Hayden Miller, the first baseman, not able to get to it. So we're 4 pitches into this at-bat, a ball and 3 foul balls. Usually able to stay alive in that count. He'll take a few deep breaths before stepping back into the right-handed batter's box. McLeod will come set and deliver the 1-2. That's hit well into left field. Coming down on it, trying to make the catch is Tracy. He will not. Misplayed that ball a little bit in left field, and it's a 1-out single for Musil.
Just popped out of the glove of Tracy as he was hunched over to try to grab it.
No batting for the Oilers.
Unfortunately, can't get the out. Had a pretty good jump and tracked it down well, but just a tough play out there for Tracy.
So Musil able to reach with 1 gone. That'll give a base runner for the second baseman, Sammy Lopez, who lined out to first base his first time up after that great diving play by Hayden Miller. Bucs trying to get a double play to end the top of the 4th. McLeod is able to field it, but his throw to Landfear is off of his glove and all the way into right field. Coming around from first and scoring is Owen Musil. And Sammy Lopez will get in there safely to second base.
A pretty disastrous bit of fielding there from the Bucs, as what could have been a pretty easy double play results in a run score, and the Oilers take the lead again, and a runner in scoring position. Don't get the out.
It's the second time an error has resulted in a run given up. So the Oilers will once again take the lead off of a mental lapse by the Bucs. First pitch to Shane Cannon is in there for strike 1, so it'll be scored as an E1 Both runners advancing on the throwing error by Luke McLeod. It's the second error by a pitcher in this game. McLeod misses outside to even things up at 1 apiece.
I think the umpire is going to come out from second base and talk to McLeod.
Looks like he was either checking for something or maybe just offering to dry off the ball for McLeod. The rain has stopped here. It's just a light sprinkle for a couple of minutes, but that was about it. So it's a 1-1 count to Shane Cannon, who walked and later scored his first time up. Takes strike 2 right over the middle of the plate.
Bucs felt like they had momentum responding to that 2-run top of the 3rd inning with 2 more of their own in the bottom. And just a couple of bad plays, and now the Oilers back in the lead.
1-2 from McLeod is hit well into left field. Going back on it is Tracy. Makes the catch at the warning track. That will hold Lopez at second, so a deep fly out for out number 2. Able to make that play is Taylor. Taylor Tracy, that is. So it'll be 2 outs with the 9-hole hitter Luke Skinner up to bat. Skinner also walked and scored his first time up. He takes ball 1 outside. McLeod trying to get out of the inning with just the 1 run given up. One always swung on and missed by Skinner for strike 1 to even things up. Infield is playing virtually straight up. Lanfear, the shortstop, is playing closest to the bag at second. If McLeod wants to attempt a pickoff, he won't on this pitch. It's hit up the middle. Lanfear able to glove it. His throw to Miller is in time. So McLeod strands the runner at second. But the Oilers were able to jump out to a 3-2 lead after the throwing error. Bucs will try to answer when we come back.
Great lineup of beer, seltzers, and wines as well as swinging by that concession stand for all your culinary delights and taking care of that little tickle on the tummy. They're serving top of the line Boar's Head products. Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Anchorage Bucs, catcher number 15, Tyler Denton.
So after the Oilers retake the lead, Ty Denton steps in to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th. Bucs trying to answer. First pitch from Luke Dixon bounces a couple of feet in front of the plate and all the way to the backstop, but there's nobody on, so Not the worst time to have a wild pitch if you're Dixon. The 1-0 from him skips in front of home plate once again for ball 2.
One thing we didn't address in our trip to Kenai was the fact that the Oilers did not play a 2025 season.
That one's lined out to left field and over the glove of left fielder Carson McCormack. So Ty Denton reaches second safely after the blunder by Carson McCormack.
So after dropping one of our own in left field, it seems that there's something in the grass, I guess, over there that's just making left fielders drop the ball. As there you see McCormack, that one much, much easier of a play than Tracy, who was in the middle of a run having to lean over. That one was a tough play to make. That play from McCormack, not something that he should necessarily hope to do again.
Yeah, it seemed like a routine line out. The ball was definitely hit pretty well, but it just hit the top piece of his glove that was not reinforced well enough and just popped over. Allowed Denton to reach scoring position as Hayden Miller lines that one foul into left field.
As I was saying, the Oilers didn't play a 2025 season due to financial hardship. So they, in a press release, said that they will focus on stabilizing finances and they will return in the summer of 2026, and that they did. And now they've, this season, only played 2 teams. They played a long series against the Glacier Pilots, and now, then one long one against us, and now back to us, and they play the Glacier Pilots again tomorrow, before finally playing the Matsu Miners the next day.
They've gone 6-3 in their first 9 games, so it's been a successful start to the year for them. Dixon looks over at second before delivering the 0-2, and he got a swing and miss on the slider for strike 3. So both times Miller has come up to the plate, he's headed back to the dugout after a strikeout. So now Finn Leach steps up to the plate, with Denton in scoring position the second time he's been in that situation. Fastball is inside for ball 1 to Leach. Dixon with a long look over at second before delivering the 1-0. That gets by Oakley. He couldn't find it. And the wild pitch allows Denton to advance up a bag to third base, now just 90 feet away from tying this game.
Denton took off as soon as he saw that ball hit the turf and bounce up. Luckily, Oakley not able to get it and bounced a couple more times. Would have been a potentially close play if he had immediately tracked it down, and as we know, he has a pretty good arm.
That one is hit foul down the left field line, and Oakley was looking up, thought it went over his head, but it bounced right in front of Leach in the left-handed batter's box. And like you said, Denton fortunate. Oakley did not find it in time to have a potential close play. Dixon now in danger of walking Leach with ball 3 to him. He's struggled to find the strike zone here in this inning outside of his at-bat to Miller. Here comes the 3-1. Finds the outer corner for strike 2 to run the count full. Leach trying to reach safely for the second time today. Here comes the payoff pitch from Dixon. That is hit foul down the left field line and out of play to keep the at-bat going.
Landed on top of the batting cages for the Bucs, so we'll be getting that ball back.
There's been plenty that's landed on the roof of the Bucs clubhouse, right over towards their dugout.
I can still see several of them.
We've been told plenty of times that when parking our car into the parking lot, which is right behind the dugout and clubhouse in left field to face away from the field, there's been several windshields that have gotten some work done on them by foul balls before. We took no chances.
I don't know, a broken windshield might make our little Ford Explorer go up in value.
Might not be wrong, as that one is chopped past the second baseman, Sammy Lopez. The throw over to first is not in time. So Finn Leach able to drive home the tying run and reaches safely with an infield single.
Now batting for the Anchorage Bucs, center fielder number 3, A.J. Garcia.
So now A.J. Garcia steps up with Leach on first and one gone in a tie game. Hits the first ball into center field. That'll get down for a single. And it's back-to-back singles for the Bucs. Leach will move into scoring position at second. A.J. Garcia aboard for the first time today.
His second hit, or excuse me, his third hit in his second game back. And that biggest part from the hit by Leach was that they didn't even get the out, so still only one out. Likely putting that ball in play more often than not. They let the run score and try to get the out at first.
So now the most dangerous hitter at this time in the Bucs lineup, Andrew Sheffield, steps up to the bag. Has 2 home runs in his last 5 at-bats. Is ahead in the count 1-0 here. He led off the third with a solo shot. Dixon well aware of that, as he has not tested Sheffield in the strike zone in this at-bat. Leach on second, Garcia on first. 2-0 is hit over towards the second baseman, Sammy Lopez. He'll make the catch, but will not have a play at second or first. Neither defender was able to cover the bag in time before the Bucs dove back in. So the inning will continue after the line out to Lopez. That'll bring the top of the order back up with Camden Lanphier. Lanphier has flown out to center field and doubled. First pitch he sees is hit fair down the left field line. It'll get away from the left fielder, Carson McCormack. 1 run scores. Here comes the second. Throw is not in time. An RBI double from Camden Lanphier scores both runs and empties the base paths. And the Bucs have exploded for 5 runs in the last 2 frames, 3 runs in this inning. They now lead 5-3.
That's the 4th RBI from Camden Lanphier, as in the 3rd and the 4th inning, he's had a 2 RBI double. He is absolutely raking as of right now, and it would not be possible if it weren't for the bottom of this lineup, who's been able to get on base so well.
Now batting for the Anchorage Bucs.
So now Andrew Raymond steps up. He singled in the 3rd to bring home Lanphier. Has another chance to do that here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. He'll lay off the first pitch, which is low and outside for ball 1. Dixon will look over to Lanfear at second before delivering 1-0 in the zone. Raymond swings and misses on to even up the count at 1 apiece. Raymond has drawn a walk in almost every game he's played so far. Dixon will step off the mound there. His first game he went 3 for 4, and since then he's drawn a ton of walks. He drew 3 a week ago. Followed that up with 2 and then 1 on June 18th. Did not draw a walk on Friday. Had a hat trick of walks on Sunday. And then yesterday had a pair. Now ahead in the count 3-1. His patience has him in control of this at-bat at the moment. Trying to keep this 3-run inning going, potentially add on to that number. Next offering, check swing. He went around. It would have been ball 4, but he wasn't able to lay off of that pitch, and it'll run the count full. Dixon 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Here comes the payoff pitch from him. It's hit high and foul down the left field line. Will wind up out of play. Raymond able to stay alive in the count.
That one didn't quite land in the parking lot, but got close. Tell you what.
There's plenty of players' cars parked in the front row closest to the field. I'm sure they would like to avoid any balls in their windshield. As slider drops in there for strike 3. Raymond goes down looking and strands Lanfear at second base. But the Bucs ring off a 3 spot in the bottom of the 4th to take a 5-3 lead heading into the top of the 5th. You're listening to the Anchorage Bucs YouTube channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, get your lucky 4th of July tickets on sale right now at the Pirates Den for a great afternoon and evening here at Mulcahy Stadium. Also, check out the Bucs beer stand and lineup of beers, seltzers, and wines, as well as the concession stand for top-of-the-line Boar's Head products. Get out that red ticket number. We got your winner here for a Little Caesars token. That red ticket number 066211. 066211. You're bringing home some Little Caesars tonight. Now batting for the Oilers, center fielder number
McLeod
8.
remains on the mound for the 5th inning. He'll face the leadoff man Mark Nellis, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. First offering to him drops in there for strike 1. One's fouled right by us and out of play for strike 2. That one just barely missing the press box. 0-2 slider just misses outside for ball 1.
And there's a little observation deck on the side here of the press box. which I'm not sure what it's for other than just getting a good view of the game, but that would have taken out anyone standing there.
1-2 upstairs, and yeah, they're definitely interesting to put that right there. I'm not sure what purpose it has.
Maybe for someone who wants to be on top of the game.
I suppose. Count has run full after McLeod was in front 0-2. 3 straight balls have happened since. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3 on the outer part of the plate. McLeod gets Nellis looking for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Brooks Hassencleaver. He's fouled out to Ty Denton, the catcher, and reached on an error by the pitcher, Jonah Fragus. Crazy that the Bucs are only leading 5-3. It could easily be a lot less. They've shot themselves in the foot with 2 errors that have resulted in just as many runs. Their offense has provided plenty of relief, though. McLeod delivers a pair of pitches outside for a 2-0 count.
Hassencleaver leads the team in hits with 8 and leads the team in walks as well by a significant margin, has 16 this season. The next most is 6.
And when you start off with 2 early home runs, you put the entire league on notice that pitching to you can be very dangerous.
And Sheffield's tied him up in just 2 games.
2-1 called, strike 2 on the inside part of the plate. The Bucs have hit 4 of the 6 homers in the ABL this year. So that one is skied into right field. Raymond under it makes the catch for out number 2. So the first 2 batters that McLeod faces in the top of the 5th are retired, and Luke Lusky, the first baseman, steps up trying to keep the inning going. He popped out to short his last time up, struck out swinging to end the first inning, and takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Lusky was part of the All-Summit League first team over at South Dakota State this past year. Hit 13 homers with 58 RBIs in the ABL so far. He's hitting .211 through 5 games. 4 hits, 4 RBIs, and 4 runs. He's also drawn 3 walks. He's quickly down in the count, 1-2. McLeod trying to deliver a clean inning in the 5th. The 1-2 from him, fouled right next to us.
Phew.
And that one, even closer than the last. I don't like the pattern that I'm starting to see.
I could read the brand on that baseball. It was so close.
That chipped some paint off of the windowsill right next to us. Saw some of it fly up. The 1-2 is hit high and deep into right field, ranging into foul territory is Raymond, but he can't make the catch before crashing into the chain link fence. Would have been a very tough play if he could have made it.
Yeah, he had to take his eye off the ball as he was heading toward the fence. And when you're trying to sacrifice the catch to keep your body safe, I think that's one that they'll take, especially if it lands in foul territory, then no harm done.
Yeah, this is summer ball. You don't want to take yourself out for fall ball, and once college baseball starts. So the count remains 1-2. McLeod bounces an off-speed pitch in front of home plate to even things up. If the wall in foul territory was padded, I would maybe understand putting your life on line. But with the chain link fence, it definitely raises the stakes a little bit more.
Don't want to go through it like Swiss cheese. Is that the expression? I don't think that's an expression. Not Swiss cheese. What cheese am I thinking of?
String cheese, shredded cheese.
Shredded cheese, maybe?
Cheese grater of some sorts.
Yeah.
Payoff pitches fouled out of play. The trajectory was forced, but luckily the launch angle was way higher.
I didn't hear it. I thought it would land on the roof on top of us. I didn't hear it land anywhere.
Must have traveled out of the stadium then. I've seen that happen a couple times. Another payoff pitch is hit up the middle and into center field. So the 9-pitch at-bat from Luke Lusky results in a 2-out single to keep the inning alive.
Now batting for the Oilers.
That'll bring up the cleanup man, Carson McCormack.
It's a good piece of hitting from Lusky, fouling them back and out for eventually timing it up like he wants, and seeing that payoff pitch from McLeod pretty well, puts it right up the middle.
First offering is fielded cleanly by Leach, and he'll just take the force out at second. So McLeod able to avoid any danger there, strands the one runner on. And the first 0 since the second inning is up on the scoreboard. Bucs leading 5-3 as we've reached the halfway point of this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of our fine sponsors, Safe and Sound, Northern Lights Imaging, Trailer Craft, and Little Caesars, all proud supporters of your Anchorage Bucs.
Yeah.
There's 2. Wait, hold up.
Ladies and gentlemen, now batting for the Anchorage Bucs, left fielder number 33, Taylor.
Bucs still leading
Tracy.
5-3 through 4.5 innings. Taylor Tracy will step up to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today. First offering to him is swung on and missed for strike 1. Tracy playing in his 3rd games with the Bucs. Flew in Saturday night. He's played Sunday and Monday. The 0-1 to him is called strike 2 over the heart of the plate. Bucs have struck out 3 times here today. Tracy trying to avoid being the 4th. He's off of that slider that started in the zone and worked its way out for ball 1. It's also a new pitcher on the mound. We'll get more on him after this pitch. The 1-2 is hit over towards short, fielded cleanly. The throw is in time for the first out. It'll be Evan Cineris on the mound. So he records the first out of the inning.
Now batting for the Anchorage Bucs, designated hitter number 7.
Cineris has played against the Bucs. He was featured in the 6-5 win on June 18th, pitched 2 2/3, only allowed 1 run on 2 hits and struck out 3, making his second appearance in 5 days. This one will be in relief as that one is popped up by Luke Taylor, but will wind up foul for strike 1.
Cineris with a good outing against the Bucs last time, hoping to change that here today. He'll likely be in for a little bit longer relief as he's come in the 5th inning. We've seen the Oilers sometimes take their starting pitchers pretty far into the game. However, they pull Dixon after just 4.
0-1 is hit well into left field, but it is right to the left fielder Carson McCormack for a quick out number 2.
McCormack redeeming himself after the drop earlier in the game.
Catcher number 15.
That was on the hit from Ty Denton, and Denton eventually came around and scored. That just made things even worse for McCormack today. But able to get a catch there.
So 2 outs for Ty Denton as he takes strike 1 on the other part of the plate. He started off the 4th inning with an error by the left fielder McCormack that allowed him to reach second base safely. He came around and scored. Lays off that slider that winds up outside to even things up. The sun has retreated behind the clouds for the time being. I'm sure it'll be in and out over the next hour or two. 1-1 is a fastball up at the chest for a 2-1 hitter's count to Denton.
It's pretty much perfect temperature here in Alaska, especially for baseball players wearing pants and running around. Probably not getting too sweaty. And we're here wearing pants and you in a hoodie, and it's very comfortable.
2-1 misses down low, 4-3-1. Yeah, especially after first couple of games, we had to get the fan up and running in here with the sun shining down on us. Haven't had to do that in the last couple of days. 3-1 to Denton. Here comes the next offering. That's hit right back up the middle. It's gloved down by Cineris, and he's able to throw over to first for the 3rd out. So 1-2-3 inning in relief for Cineris. Neither team able to add to their tallies in the 5th. We'll head to the 6th with the Bucs leading 5-3.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the mound, we missed him The last inning, Buck pitching. Number 27 from Baylor University, Luke McLeod. Now batting for the Oilers, catcher number 11, Reed Oakley.
Reed Oakley leads things off in the 6th inning, his team trailing by 2 runs. McLeod out there for his 3rd inning of work. He's only given up 1 run, which was unearned. So he fires a first pitch strike to Oakley, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts today. One of them was double play. The other one was just a simple 4-3. Lays off of that one to even things up. One count to Oakley. Moves to 1-2. Oakley still yet to pick up the bat off his shoulders. Has taken a pair of strikes. That one just a bit high. Not able to grab the upper part of the zone, so count moves even once again. McLeod shakes off a couple pitches before finding one he likes. That one is gloved down by Lanfear, but he's not able to field it. Luckily for him, Finn Leach is right there to keep the ball in the infield, and it'll be a infield single for Reed Oakley to lead things off in the top of the 6th.
Oakley getting his first hit of the game. And that's happened a couple times to Lanfear over the past few days, where he's able to get to the ball and put a glove on it, but it just pops out. That time, not too much damage done, but would have been able to get the out.
This one's sent into left center field. Both go back on it, and it'll reach the wall. AJ Garcia gets a quick throw in and a great job to keep the runner at 3rd. So it's Musil on 2nd, Oakley on 3rd, with nobody out in the top of the 6th. Oilers threatening here early.
And Garcia played that about as well as he could. That bouncing off the warning track out there, losing a hat, and then immediately turning around, delivering a throw to his cutoff man.
Got it in very quickly to keep Oakley at 3rd. Now Sammy Lopez in an RBI situation hits one foul along the left field line.
That foul ball brought to you by Alaska Restaurant
Lopez
Supply.
reached on an error in the 4th. That was the error that scored Owen Musil, who now stands at 2nd base. 0-1 misses down low to even things up. Oilers now up to 6 hits. They still trail the Bucs by 1 hit and 2 runs. Lopez facing a 1-1 count that moves to 2-1 after the off-speed pitch from McLeod lands in the other batter's box. McLeod trying to keep his ball club in front in his 3rd inning of relief. 2-1 fastball right over the heart of the plate for strike 2.
That was a great fastball from McLeod, anticipating a non-swing from Lopez at the hitter's count.
2-2 is chopped over towards short. Lanfear is able to field it. He'll throw over to 2nd. And Finn Leach tags out Owen Musil. A run does score, so it's an RBI fielder's choice for Sammy Lopez, but the Bucs are able to get the lead runner over at second out. So it's not a
Now that is
total
the
dud.
Oilers' shortstop number 5, Shane Cannon.
Good communication from the middle infielders. There's been a lot of moving around of those two positions. Finn Leach bouncing between second and short, getting Sheffield in there. Sometimes Lanfear's over at third. So great job knowing where the other is going to be, as Lanfear could have possibly thrown it over to first, but Finn Leach waited at second in case he threw over to try to get the out.
Shane Cannon, the shortstop, steps in 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a fly out. He came around to score on that walk. Lays off of the slider outside for ball 1. McLeod has already checked over at first as Lopez has stolen a pair of bags. Here through 6 games, did not attempt to steal a base as he gets one here. The throw from Denton, though, will get him out. A perfect one-hopper from Denton is gloved by Leach, who just laid down his glove right in front of second base and waited for Lopez to slide into him.
Put that ball right on the money over at second base, where Leach had his glove waiting down to get the tag. About as perfect execution. Helped that McLeod delivered a fastball in, so it even sped up the time, or removed the amount of time it had to take in order to get over to second.
So now a 2-1 count to Cannon. Base paths have become empty. Bucks still holding on to a 1-run lead. Brown misses down low on that pitch for ball 3. Cannon trying to get his second walk of the afternoon. Here comes a 3-1 from McLeod. That's hit foul into the netting behind home plate to run the count full. McLeod just 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Payoff pitch from him is chopped foul down the third baseline. Will do it again.
Would have been a tough play for Sheffield had it stayed fair. Cannon had already started to make a move over towards first, but a slow hopper just goes on the left side of that third base line.
He's in his first game playing third too. Hasn't seen a whole lot of action over there just yet. Another payoff pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. McLeod gets the punch out as the Bucks hold on to a 5-4 lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. You're watching on the Bucks YouTube channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get out that red ticket number. We got another winner for you. That number 066168. 066168. You're bringing home some Subway this evening. Check them out at the Pirates Den and pick up your certificate. Ticket number 066168. and gentlemen, now batting for the Anchorage Bucs. First baseman, number 20, Hayden Miller.
Hayden Miller will lead off the bottom of the 6th. Bucks still ahead 5-4. Sonaris remains on the mound for his second inning of work.
It's been a tough day for Miller with 2 strikeouts swinging.
Slider from Sonaris drops in there for strike 1, and he's had command of that outer part of the plate ever since coming in last inning. A bad sign for Miller, who has struck out both times on pitches similar to that. He's able to get a piece of that one and foul it off, and he's once again behind in the count 0-2.
Well, that foul ball brought to you by Alaska Builders and Contractors of Alaska.
Trying to avoid the hat trick of K's. The 0-2 from Sonaris. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Miller just having a rough day at the plate. That'll be the first out of the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting,
Yeah, and the second of his strikeouts, that's been in 3 pitches. Obviously he didn't play yesterday. I was hoping to come in and redeem himself a little bit after the day off.
So now Finn Leach will step up. He swings and misses at the first offering. Sonaris has retired the first 4 batters he's faced. Trying to give his ball club a chance to tie or take the lead in the next inning. Leach able to lay off of that one to even things up.
We were halfway to an immaculate inning. Broken up just there by the ball outside.
1-1 count to Leach is fouled away for strike 2. We haven't seen an immaculate inning. We were pretty close to seeing something like that with 3 pitches and 3 outs.
Which doesn't have a cool name for some reason.
I feel like that should have a cooler name, if anything.
The phenomenal inning or something.
I don't even know what word would top immaculate. The word immaculate is pretty well immaculate.
The best inning.
Sure, that works. 2-2 count is fouled away.
That foul ball brought to you by Alaska.
Second foul ball by Leach of this at-bat, who is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 4th and reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. His single brought home 1 of 3 runs in the 4th as he has worked the count full with 1 gone in the bottom of the 6th. Bucs still leading 5-4. Haven't seen much offense since Sonaris has come in the game. The payoff pitch from him. It's fouled into the netting behind home plate, and we will do it again.
Leach trying to time up that fastball, just got under it, sent it straight back. Took a big swing right there, though. Would have made great contact if it had just sank a little bit more like Leach was expecting.
Here comes the 8th pitch of this at-bat. It's hit over towards third, fielded cleanly by Skinner. His throw beats out Leach by just half a step for out number 2.
That was about as close as it gets. It bounced twice to get to Skinner, and then a one-hopper on the throw. But Lusky with a great dig. Only a 5'10" frame for Lusky, so he can't stretch out as far as some first basemen to get the grab. But like you said, about as close as it gets for Finn Leach.
So now A.J. Garcia steps in. He also singled and scored. His check swing on the first pitch went around for strike one. Senaris trying to stay perfect here. Has retired the first 5 batters he's faced. Wanda Garcia is swung on and missed for strike 2.
Senaris has been dealing, mixing up these pitches as the Bucs have just not been able to locate them very well. Haven't gotten a hit off Senaris today through almost 2 innings.
The 0-2 from him. Hit right back up the middle. Almost fielded cleanly by Shane Cannon, but he's unable to get his glove on it. So our reverse psychology works to a T.
I think he heard us up here.
It's an infield single for Garcia, and that will keep the inning alive for Andrew Sheffield, who has remained as hot as anybody. Back-to-back games with a homer. Lined out to second base his last time up. He swings and misses at the first offering. Garcia with a healthy lead over at first. We know how speedy he can be. Oakley has not really been tested here today. Saw his arm up in Kenai throughout several batters. Here comes the 1-1. That's fouled into the netting directly behind home plate for strike 2. It's now 2 foul balls that have been perfect trajectory for us, but one landed too high and not one too low. We live to fight another day. Runner goes on the 1-2, but Sheffield swings and misses at it for strike 3. So the Bucs strand a base runner for the 5th time today. They still remain in front 5-4. As when we come back, there will be a new pitcher on the mound.
Well, let's thank the Mattingly family, the Cruz family, the Studer family, the Gilgis family, Karen Norseworthy, Tammy Williams, and Stephanie Burgoon, and her crew, as well as Molly McManaman and Eric Kurzweg, new additions to the Anchorage Bucs family. Thank you all for your supporting them. Let's give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for their support of our Anchorage Bucs. Ladies and gentlemen, new pitch on the mound for the Anchorage Bucs from Feather River Community College. Number 10, Carl Cavaccio.
Call to the bullpen is for left-hander Carl Colavecchio.
Now batting for
Made a couple appearances up in Kenai in relief, and faces a familiar foe in his 4th appearance here in this season. Through 4 innings throughout 2 relief appearances, both came in wins. Only allowed 1 earned run on June 16th and then June 19th through 3 scoreless. Bucs would love that type of performance here, as they lead 5-4 with Luke Skinner up to bat. Skinner will take strike 1. First 2 times up, he walked and then grounded out to short. Slider there from Colavecchio misses inside to even things up.
Colavecchio with 7 walks as well as 7 strikeouts this season. So very even in terms of both getting punch outs but also giving guys those free bases.
That one is slapped into center field, but is not too far from A.J. Garcia, who makes the catch for the first out. Colavecchio is a native of Anchorage. Attends Feather River Community College. He appeared in 18 games through a 2.94 ERA and 33 innings, struck out 29 and only allowed 16 walks. Still my favorite stat, he threw a no-hitter with 17 strikeouts, and then in the same game he hit for the cycle.
Is that the greatest performance from a baseball player ever in a game?
It honestly might, although I'm sure there's, before high school stats were counting, there were some guys that were just absolutely crushing baseballs I would love to see.
Well, that's what they'll tell you that they were doing.
But
it's like Wilt's 100-point game.
In reality, they're just trying to match up to Carl Colavecchio. Even count at 1 apiece to Mark Nellis, who has struck out twice and singled. Colavecchio will kick and deal. The slider rides inside. Nellis tried to convince the home plate umpire that it hit him on the foot, but did not sell it good enough. So 2-1 count to Nellis. His ball club trailing by 1. Fastball misses way outside for ball 3.
As we get deeper into the season, some guys are making themselves really part of the lineup. And Colavecchio is one of those guys who has stood out on the mound and has become a regular in relief. Especially being a left-handed pitcher, that's extra valuable as he delivers that fastball, which is so good and mixes up so well with his off-speed pitches.
Him and another lefty, Caleb Okada, have become bullpen regulars here in the early goings, as the payoff pitch from him is fouled away. Nellis able to stay alive in the count, and you're exactly right. Lefties can be so valuable. We've seen Colavecchio and Okada plenty. They're virtually the only lefties in this pitching staff. Right, Schottel, another one we've seen pretty often. We saw him yesterday as Nellis draws the 1-out walk to reach first safely.
Now batting for the Oilers, right fielder.
Sure, we'll see plenty of that trio of lefties throughout the season, especially against the Miners with how many left-handed batters they have. Oilers not as many, but here's one here with Brooks Hassencleaver. He will wait to receive his first pitch as Colavecchio checks on Nellis over at first.
The Bucs also just getting Taylor Tracy, who's a left-handed starting pitcher. Hopefully he can go a little deeper into the game in his next coming appearances than he did yesterday with only 3 innings pitched, but that could have been just to try to get him in the game and not let things go a little overboard.
Get him acclimated in his new environment.
It's a good way of putting it.
Next fastball is inside for ball 2. He's done pretty solid, has that single today came way back in the first. Taking it one game at a time. Runner goes. A pickoff attempt is successful. The throw from first over to second was into the turf, and it had to be picked out by Lanfear, which he did an amazing job of. Kind of slid down and put his body in front of it behind his glove. So a perfect pickoff attempt by the lefty gets Nellis, and the base paths are empty once again.
I think Nellis realized he didn't have the right footing to head back once he saw that Colavecchio was checking back over to first, so he just decided to go and gets caught on the throw from Miller over to Lanfear.
And a wicked strike one there. Hasencleaver swung so hard he had to drop to his knees. 2-1 misses upstairs for ball 3, though. Hasencleaver trying to once again fill the now vacated first base. One misses down low, and he does exactly that by drawing a 2-out walk. So the second straight walk given up by Colavecchio.
Not batting for the Oilers.
Hasencleaver not as much as a threat to steal compared to Nellis, who stole 7 bags during college ball and 3 here in the ABL. Hasencleaver did not attempt one at Connors State College, but he does have a pair here in Alaska, so let's put his speed on display. We won't see it just yet as Luke Lusky takes his first offering into left field past the diving glove of Sheffield. So 2-out single will move Hasencleaver up to second, and a little bit of trouble for Colavecchio as he faces Carson McCormick with a pair of runners on, and the the tying run at second base and in scoring position.
That just makes the caught stealing from Mark Nellis even more important, as he might have been able to score on that single. I don't know if he would have, since it went into left field, but the bases would have been loaded if not. Now only with one runner in scoring position, trying to get that final out here in the inning.
Bucs still holding on to that 5-4 lead in the top of the 7th. Colavecchio ahead in the count to McCormick, 0-1. Now 0-2 as he gets a swing and a miss on the breaking ball in the dirt. Just one strike away from stranding the pair of runners.
McCormick with 3 RBIs this season, looking for a chance to add on to that total.
Colavecchio with a second glance over at second for delivering the 0-2 outside for ball 1. McCormick has reached base safely 2 out of 3 times. One came on a walk, the other on a fielder's choice. Steps in here and with an RBI opportunity, but swings and misses on the slider for strike 3, so Colavecchio avoids the danger and gets the strikeout to keep the Oilers off of the scoreboard. They trail 5-4 as we have hit the 7th inning stretch here at Mulcahy Stadium.
Take me out to the ball game. Are you ready? A 1, a 2, and a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for its root for the Bucs. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2. for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Also, let's thank some of our proud sponsors: Alaska Highway Safety Office, Global Credit Union, State Farm, and Alaska Towing and Wrecking, all proud supporters of your Anchorage Bucs.
Is it everything that I'm expecting it to be?
Have you never been?
Dude, they have freaking, just life changing.
Like,
What's the closest one to Athens?
Also, don't forget there's
but there's one in
Buck Beer Stand going on there. Check out the lineup of beer, seltzers, and wines, as well as concession stands still going. Top line Boar's Head products being served out of there.
formal when you go to New Orleans. You stop at that.
Now batting for the Anchorage Bucs, shortstop, number 17, Camden Lanfear.
Remaining on the mound is Evan Cineris. He'll face off against Camden Lanfear. He's delivered 2 scoreless frames where he's only given up 1 hit so far. Starts this count early with a strike. Lanfear back-to-back singles. He came around to score on the one in the 3rd, but not in the 4th. He is quickly down in the count 0-2.
The Bucs have been pretty aggressive with the swing against Cineris. Lanfear taking a different approach, but Cineris has been able to find the outside of the zone twice now and has got Lanfear looking at potentially the 3rd strike.
That one is just outside despite a frame drop from Reed Oakley. So Lanfear is able to stay alive in the count. Bucs have not scored since the 4th inning where they put up that 3 frame. Lanfear able to lay off of that breaking ball in the dirt. Oilers trying to keep Cineris out there for as long as they can. He's been very solid the past 2 innings, only giving up 1 base runner. Lanfear trying to become the 2nd. 2-2 upstairs, and that's 3 straight balls to run the count full. Payoff pitch coming here from Cineris. Called strike 3 to drop strike, so Lanfear has to be tagged out by Reed Oakley. But after battling all the way back from being down 0-2, he never takes the bat off of his shoulders and is not looking for strike 3.
It's the first time Lanfear's gone down on strikes today, as he has 2 doubles, one of those driving in a run.
Andrew Raymond pops one up into left field. Taking a couple steps back is Carson McCormick, but he doesn't have much trouble on this one for a quick out number 2.
And there's the aggressive swings from the Bucs again. Pretty low pitch count, only 36 pitches from Cineris, 25 of those being strikes, as they fouled off so many pitches of his. And 36 through almost 3 is not bad.
His first offering to Taylor Tracy is a slider that starts outside and makes its way on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Tracy has, last time up, grounded out to shortstop. He's 1 for 3 on the day. The 0-1 to him check swing that he is able to lay off of. That'll even up the count at 1 apiece. Tracy in his orange and white cleats for the Tennessee colors. Doesn't have any purple and black just yet, as he recently committed to TCU. I think those are the Air Jordan 1 cleats.
I do not know.
I think I see a very tiny Jordan logo right above the swoosh. My eyes are good, but they're not that good.
I'm not a big fan of having the Air Jordan in anything other than basketball. Some of the big like Nike colleges have the Air Jordan. Oklahoma has one. Florida has one on their football jerseys, and I just don't. Not a big fan. Now, Michael Jordan baseball logo. He did play baseball.
He did play baseball, but every single time I would create a player in Madden, I would give him the Air Jordan cleats because I just think they look great no matter what sport it is, although taking a basketball shoe and throwing cleats on the bottom of it is pretty funny to me. Payoff pitch outside for ball 4, and Tracy will continue the inning with a 2-out walk.
Great layoff from Tracy, as Soneras has been finding the outside part of the zone really well today. So it wouldn't have surprised me if, as that slider was trailing towards the outside part, that Tracy might have decided to swing, but sees it through and makes his way over to first base.
Only the second batter that Soneras has allowed to reach safely, as Luke Taylor takes ball 1 just a bit outside. Taylor still looking for his first hit. He's flown out twice and lined into a double play. Batting in that cleanup spot instead of Hank Smith, who has done that for virtually a week now, ever since he has been with the team. Got the day off today. So 1-1 count to Taylor with Tracy over at first. That offering is popped into shallow right field. The right fielder, Brooks Hassencleaver, calls off Sammy Lopez at the very last minute and makes the catch for out number 3. Was a chaotic out. But nonetheless, another 0 put up on the scoreboard, and game remains separated by just 1 run.
We have Club Paris, Moose's Tooth, Milwaukee Wishbone, and Alaska Brewing, as well as the RNDC, all proud supporters of your Anchorage Bucs.
Reed Oakley will get things started in the 8th inning.
Reed Oakley.
Score has remained 5-4 ever since the Oilers came within 1 by putting up a run in the top of the 6th. Olavecchio still on the mound. He delivers strike 1 to Oakley, who on the day has singled and later came around to score that 1 run in the 6th, but other than that has not had a whole lot going on.
It's also his 3rd time leading off an inning. The 4th, the 6th, and now the 8th.
0-1 fastball rides inside to even things up. Colavecchio, through 20 pitches in the 7th, his first inning of work, only 10 were strikes. Trying to find the zone more often here in the 8th. He's able to get a swing and miss on that one for strike 2. Infield is playing Oakley straight up, no shift put on him. A lot of space up the middle if he's able to place it there. But he won't get a chance. A called third strike at the knees and on the outside part of the plate. He'll go down looking to lead things off in the 8th.
Colavecchio staying strong. Back out on the mound. And as he comes in relief for a couple of right-handed pitchers just being able to throw left-handed. Now very tall Owen Musil as that strike zone expands for Colavecchio.
First offering to him is fouled back and out of play. Colavecchio ended the 7th with a K, and he starts the 8th the same way. So 2 strikeouts and 2 walks so far, keeping par with his numbers heading into today. 0-1 misses inside for ball 1.
Owen Musil listed at 6'5", 230 pounds, and originally from Nebraska, so probably had quite a bit of corn in his day.
How's that farm strength, I'm sure. The 1-1 is skied into foul territory over in right field. Hayden Miller, the first baseman, gathers under it and makes the catch for out number 2. So a strikeout and a foul out to start things in the 8th. That'll bring up Sammy Lopez, the second baseman.
It might just be habit for Musil when he pops up, but he was heading to first base, but it was in foul territory. So he would not have gotten first base even if there was the drop.
Probably one of those muscle memory things, like you said. Sammy Lopez has reached safely twice by an error and a fielder's choice. He was caught stealing back in the 6th. He fouls the 1-0 off to even things up. Lopez from Fontana, California, attended Cal Baptist in his freshman year. Was teammates with Anchorage Buck John Carlson. Only played in 17 games, hit .400. She hits that one over towards short, and it goes off of the glove of Camden Landfair. He's not able to cleanly field it. So Lopez reaches on the E6, and the inning continues.
Now batting for the Oilers, shortstop number 5.
Sometimes Landfair makes those plays look really easy, and sometimes just pops out of his glove. Not sure what the problem is there, but that is the second time today that the ball has found its way in and out of the glove of Landfair.
Was playing at third base yesterday, as this one is lifted high into left center field. Luckily right there to make the play is Taylor Tracy, so the error does not come back to cost the Bucs. And they are a full inning away from walking away with the win. They'll try to get some more insurance run in the bottom half of the 8th, though, with Cineris back onto the mound.
All proud supporters of your Anchorage Bucs. Also want to take a moment to recognize some of those folks who help support us and make our lives easier here for the Anchorage Bucs. Our team trainer, thanks to Lynn Young and Orthopedic Physicians of Alaska for their continued support in keeping our athletes healthy. The Alaska Club doing the same thing, but with the muscles. Thank you to the last club is the Team Health Club, and the car care group for us is Alaska Springs and Performance and Alaska Towing and Wrecking, proud supporters of your Anchorage Bucs. Now batting for the Anchorage Bucs, catcher number 15, Tyler Denton.
Ty Denton leads things off in the bottom of the 8th. Bucks still holding on to a 5-4 lead. Trying to create some more offense and a couple insurance run for whichever pitcher takes the mound for them in the top of the 9th. Denton grounded out to the pitchers last time and takes a pitch on the arm for a free pass to lead things off.
Received some cheers from his team for taking one on the arm.
Now batting for the Anchorage
He'll
Bucs,
take first base
number 20,
very
Hayden
gladly.
Miller. Correction.
So leadoff base runner for Hayden Miller,
Number 6.
and it'll be Hank Smith who pinch hits for him.
Representing Point Loma
Did not
Nazarene.
start for the first time since arriving in Anchorage. Usually starts at first and will pinch hit for Miller, the first baseman.
Yeah, after 3 strikeouts from Miller, and now only up 1 run, wanting to get some insurance runs. And Hank Smith has had very good offense in his time with the Bucs so far.
Also, kind of playing the odds here. Miller, a right-handed batter. Righties don't usually fare as good as left-handed hitters against righties on the mound. Able to see that arm angle from a much better vantage point as he's able to lay off of that fastball that lands upstairs for ball 1.
Smith with 4 RBIs in his first 6 games with the Bucs.
One check swing that Smith went around on for strike 2.
Also does strike out a lot, has 8 strikeouts in those 6 games. So very mixed bag in terms of what Hank Smith can do at the plate.
Very aggressive batter, now facing a 1-2 count. He's able to send that one into center field and it'll get down as Nellis has to take a bit of a hop to make sure that ball doesn't sail over his head and behind him.
Now batting.
So Smith reaches safely
Second baseman, number 18,
with a single, still with nobody out, and runners on first and second for the Bucs.
It's only the 2nd hit against Cineris. Now with a hit by pitch and a hit from Smith, potentially opening things up here and figuring Cineris out a little bit. Still no outs in the bottom of the inning.
Finn Leach stepping up now, another left-handed hitter. He wasn't able to figure out Cineris is. He will step off of the bag and make sure Ty Denton doesn't get any crazy ideas at second. Doesn't seem like a scenario where the Bucs would try to steal third. So now Finn Leach puts down a bunt, and what a beauty this is. It's gloved, but there's no play. A picture-perfect bunt from Finn Leach loads the bases with nobody out.
That was a textbook bunt. It stayed in what is not dirt, but represents the dirt on the infield here on the brown part, just to the right side of the third base line.
Center fielder, number 3.
And it advances both runners And the third baseman for the Oilers, that's Luke Skinner, couldn't get down in time as he was not expecting the bunt.
So now AJ Garcia steps in, 3 straight left-handed hitters. This is exactly the part of the lineup that the Bucs want to face a righty, as he takes strike 1 on the fastball. Garcia back-to-back singles in the 4th and the 6th. One here could really do some damage. All the infielders playing very closely. A hard hit ball could easily get past them. Garcia takes ball 1 upstairs to even things up. Bases are juiced with nobody out. Bucs trying to add to their 1-run lead here. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball that just dipped out of the zone, and Garcia couldn't lay off of it.
Yeah, wanting to make something happen with bases loaded. Puts a little extra pressure. And just swinging a little off on the pitch there.
Here comes the 1-2 from Cineris. Garcia wisely lays off of that breaking ball. Started on the same trajectory, and Garcia was able to recognize it in time. Even count to Garcia. Swings and misses on that one. The foul tip went into the glove of Reed Oakley. So Garcia down on strikes for the first time today.
One of the better outcomes, I suppose, if Garcia is going to get out, as it keeps the bases full, and now probably the hottest hitter on the Bucs steps up to the plate.
Sheffield did strike out swinging his last time up, but has that homer in the 3rd. First pitch is a slider that winds up outside for ball 1. It's the first right-handed batter that Cineris has faced since Ty Denton, and he hit him on the first pitch. So this is already the longest at-bat by a righty in this inning. The 1-0 to Sheffield is hit foul and out of play to even things up. Bucs still have a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. Have a golden opportunity to add to that lead. 1-0 is hit into right field. It's caught by Hassencleaver. Tagging up and scoring will be Ty Denton. Hank Smith wisely holds up at second. So it's an RBI sac fly for Andrew Sheffield, and the Bucs tack on another run. They now lead 6-4.
Sheffield's 4th RBI in 2 games as he takes the sac fly into right field, scoring the run. And now still only 1 out. Or excuse me, that's the 2nd out. But more of a chance to get work done here as there's still a runner in scoring position.
So now Camden Lanfear steps up. He takes a swing at the first pitch he sees and sends it into left center field. That's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. Coming home to score is Hank Smith. Rounding third, and also coming home will be Finn Leach. So a 2-run double by Lanfear, his 2nd of the game and 3rd overall to Bagger.
That's his 4th RBI just today as well. He might also be the hottest hitter. It's hard to decide between him and Sheffield who to give that title to, but I'm sure both of them happy to share the workload and get more runs on the board.
So a 4 RBI day for Lanfear comes in a big spot. Andrew Raymond swings and misses at the first pitch, and after Cineris was rolling through 2 innings of relief, he has been cut down here, giving up 3 runs. off of just 2 hits. Or excuse me, 3 hits. 0-1 winds up inside. Raymond able to get out of the way at that one.
This is now the 4th straight game where the Bucs have scored runs in either the 8th or 9th inning. So they are exceedingly doing very well in the late innings.
1-1 is swung on and missed with a breaking ball in the dirt. And the situational and timely hitting has come up huge for the Bucs in these last couple of games. Here it's come more of a luxury, but their previous 2 wins, it came as a necessity. 1-2 to Raymond is hit foul along the first baseline, so he's able to stay alive in the count. Raymond singled back in the 3rd, looking for his 2nd hit of the game. Flew out to left field just an inning ago. Here comes the 1-2. Drops in there for strike 3, and for the 2nd time today, Raymond is down on strikes looking. But the Bucs get 3 hits and 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th, a much bigger cushion for the new pitcher on the mound. It'll be a right-hander. We'll have more info on him when we come back from this break.
New pitcher for the Anchorage Bucs. Number 32, from Santa Clara University, Andrew Haberman.
Bucs tack on 3 insurance runs in the bottom of the 8th, making Andrew Haberman's job a lot easier, who comes in relief.
Third baseman, number 16, Jake Holubowski.
Pitched in 4 games in 4 innings, has only given up 1 run, which is unearned, as we have a pinch hitter. And for the third baseman, Luke Skinner, it'll be Jake Holubowski, who takes strike 1. Holubowski played a couple times against the Bucs. Didn't have a whole lot of success, but the Oilers just trying to switch it up and find some success in that 9-hole hitter.
Haberman's also established himself as a bit of a closer, as he came in against the Oilers in that 4-2 win, and now here once again against the Oilers, this time up 4 runs, so a little more cushioning.
That pitch just misses outside. The Bucs fans behind home plate thought it was going to be strike 3 called. Instead, it's a 1-2 count to Holubowski, who lays off of that slider. Works the count back to even. Here comes the 2-2. That one just barely foul tipped, not able to hold on to it for strike 3. So Holubowski was able to just barely get a piece of that. I didn't think he did.
Yeah, it was very close, and like I said, if Denton had just been able to snatch that ball up, then Holubowski would be heading back to the dugout, but just off the glove.
Sends that one over to third. Sheffield is able to glove it down, and his throw across the diamond is right on target for out number 1.
It's the first throw from third that we've seen Sheffield have to make. And luckily had plenty of time on a pretty hard hit ball from Holubowski. But either way, delivered a really great ball on a line over to Hank Smith.
So now Mark Nellis steps up. Strike 1 on the slider, dropped in by Haberman. Nellis drew a walk but was picked off in the 7th. As he smacks that one the other way into right field and reaches first base safely with a 1-out single.
It's the second hit from Nellis today. He did get caught stealing on a pickoff attempt from Colavecchio, as Nellis then headed over to second base and was thrown out at second.
Haberman, a righty on the mound, will have his back turned to him, so doesn't have that same advantage that the lefty Colavecchio did. Checks over to him before focusing on the batter Brooks Hassencleaver, but misses on the fastball for a 1-0 count. Nellis has stolen 3 bags in the ABL this year. Stole 7 with Connor State College. Decides to wait this one out as Hassencleaver takes strike 1. Hassencleaver drew a walk his last time up, but was stranded over at second. 1-1, grabs the outer part of the plate for strike 2. Haberman checks over on Nellis at first before delivering the 1-2, which is a fastball that wound up outside to even up the count at 2 apiece.
Trying to get that slider to start outside the zone and work its way in. That time just missing a little bit, but even on those pitches, the batter might think it's going to come back in and swing anyway.
That one right over to Hank Smith, throws over to first in time. Haberman steps on the bag, and it's a double play to end the game. A great reaction by Haberman to cover the bag with Hank Smith having to field that ball. And it's a 3-6-1 double play. Don't think I've seen too many of those, but the Bucs get a win. As for the second time in 3 games, they beat the Oilers, and they get back on the win chart after dropping yesterday's game.
And they were down 2-0 in the 3rd inning, responded, and then once the Oilers were up 3-2 in the 4th inning, the Bucs put up a 3 spot and had the lead the rest of the game. And then another 3 spot in the 8th inning. That was an absolutely phenomenal day for Camden Lanphier at the bat. Had 3 doubles and 4 RBIs. And Andrew Sheffield with a home run and an RBI as well.
So your final score here today, 8-4. The Bucs will head on the road tomorrow to play the Matsu Miners, their first road trip up to Palmer. And after that, they will have a much-deserved 4-day break before returning to Mulcahy Stadium. For Ren Grimsley, I'm Jake Sloan. Thank you for joining us today. Bucs win 8-4.
We got a little road trip coming up, but our next game will be back here at 6 p.m. Monday.
The winning pitcher